We open on black. The sound of a Zippo flicking open, then silence, then the low, deliberate crank of a starter motor that doesn't catch the first time. Second try. The 2.0-liter turbo on the 2027 Jeep Wrangler Sarge Edition wakes up and settles into a warm idle. We fade in on the showroom floor. Polished concrete, white walls, and the only color in the room is drab green. The Sarge Edition sits at a 3/4 angle, Mayan Gold catching the light on the tow hooks. The tan soft top is up, windows in, but you can see the canvas texture even from here. The camera doesn't move yet. It just lets you look, because the Willys MB never asked for attention either. It earned it. We start to push in as the voice begins. In July 1940, the U.S. Army sent out a request for a 1/4-ton, four-wheel drive reconnaissance vehicle. The specs were brutal. Weight limit 590 kilos, wheelbase 2 meters, payload 272 kilos, folding windshield, and it had to be ready in 49 days. American Bantam delivered the first prototype. Ford refined it. Willys Overland made it legendary. They built 647,925 MBS, and Ford built another 277,896 GPWs to the same print. That is the bloodline parked in front of you. We cut tight on the star medallion shift knob. It's cold, heavy, brass-plated zinc, not plastic. The white star is enamel, set deep so it doesn't wear off. You can feel the machining marks if you run a thumb over it. The Sarge Edition is full of these choices. The instrument panel surround isn't just drab green plastic. It's a textured polymer with a UV-stable top coat, so it doesn't chalk in the sun. The door armrests, the knee bolsters, the center console sides, all the same material. Jeep calls it durable. The Willys called it necessary. The sole cloth on the seat centers and door mid-panels is a polyester weave with a canvas hand. It's breathable, it hides dust, and it won't burn you in July. The Mayan Gold stitching isn't random. It's a 3mm double top stitch, 6 stitches per inch, the same way you'd see on field gear from the 1940s. It's on the seats, the wheel, the shifter boot, the doors. Once your eye learns it, the whole interior ties together. We start the walkaround. The drab green here is code PFJ, a satin clear coat over mica base. In shade, it looks like the OD green on a restored MB. In direct sun, it goes a touch warmer, almost olive drab, but it never goes glossy. That's intentional. Gloss is for sports cars. Satin is for tools. The tan top is Hart's Twill, same supplier that does premium convertibles, but the texture is looser, more canvas-like. The stitching is visible, doubled at the seams, because field repairs were done by hand and Jeep wanted that to read. We stop at the rear. The swing gate plaque is stamped, not a sticker. It's fixed with actual bolts. It says Sarge Edition, 2027, 1941 Heritage. No fluff. Below that, the 1941 cup holder plaque is tucked into the center console. It's small. You'll miss it if you're not looking. That's the point. The Willys didn't have cup holders. It had a pintle hook. Priorities. We open the door. It's heavy. The hinges are exposed, E-coated, and you can see the bolts. The sound it makes when it closes is a low, damp thunk. That's the triple seal, the heavy glass, the structure. The fenders are flat and high. From the driver's seat, you can see the top of the tire. That's not styling. That's so you know where your corner is when you're placing a wheel on a rock. The 35-inch tires on the Mauve 392 package, if you spec it, have a 17-inch Mayan Gold wheel with a star center cap. The beadlock-capable rings are functional. The Fox shocks are remote reservoir. The Dana 44 axles are full float in the rear. The Willys MB had a Spicer 18 transfer case, AT84 transmission, and 16-inch steel wheels with 6.00 by 16 NDT tires. You could change a tire with a wrench and a jack. You still can on this, but now you've got a 12.3-inch screen telling you the pitch and roll. We roll archive footage. Willys MBS coming off the line in Toledo, 1942. Women in headscarf spot welding bodies. A test driver bouncing one through a bombed-out course. Cut to Normandy, June 1944. Jeeps rolling off landing craft. Windshield down. No roof. A .30 cal on a pedestal. Cut to Iwo Jima. A Jeep with a stretcher rack. Cut to the Berlin airlift. A Jeep pushing a C-47. The voiceover doesn't get patriotic. It gets practical. The MB was 3.36 meters long, 1.57 meters wide, 1.32 meters high to the top of the bows. It weighed 13 kilos. It could be lifted by a CG-4A glider, floated with a waterproofing kit, and maintained with a 9-piece toolkit. The Wrangler is 4.33 meters long, 1.89 meters wide, 1.89 meters tall. It weighs 2,340 kilos as a 4xe. It won't fit in a glider, but it will cross a continent without a fuel truck. Back in the showroom, we open the hood. The 2.0-liter turbo makes 270 horsepower, 295 pound-feet. The 4xe adds AP2 motor for 375 horsepower total, 470 pound-feet. The Gold Devil in the Willys made 60 horsepower. The difference is 80 years of metallurgy, fuel, and computer control. But the layout is familiar. Engine front, transmission behind, transfer case behind that, axles at the ends. The 4xe battery is under the rear seat, skidded, water-sealed. You get 49 kilometers of electric range. Silent running. In 1944, silent running meant pushing. Today it means EV mode. We shut the hood. The latches are external. You can see them. That's a Willys cue. No hiding the mechanism. We move inside and stay there for a long time. I run a hand across the dash. The cattle Tan Nappa is drum-dyed, not painted, so scratches don't show white. The Drab Green surround is matte, 7-slot grille motif pressed into the vac trim. It's an Easter egg, but it's also a vent, form and function. The sole cloth inserts are the same material they use on tactical packs. Commando weave. The rear seats get the same treatment. We're in the cargo area now. The floor is drab green with mold-in tie-down points. The tie-downs are Mayan Gold, steel, not plastic. There's a 115-volt outlet, a drain plug, and the 1941 stamping at the tailgate. We fold the seats. Flat floor, 1.9 meters from tailgate to the back of the front seats. You can fit a 4x8 sheet with the tailgate open. Or you can sleep here. The Willys had a canvas bucket seat and a fuel can. This is a sleeping platform and USB-C. Now we drive. It's dusk on a Forest Service road in Pennsylvania. The headlights are LED, but the DRLs are a thin halo, not a billboard. The tail lights are red, square, simple. We're in 4H, traction control on, doing 40 kilometers an hour. The 2.0 turbo is barely awake. The ride is firm, but not punishing. The soft top adds noise, but it's the right kind. Wind, tire, gravel. We talk about the Willys 3-speed. The Crashbox first gear, the 105 kilometers per hour top speed. This one does that in second. But the windshield is still upright. The doors still come off. We stop, pull the doors, fold the windshield. The star on the shift knob catches the last light. The Willys had no doors, no roof, no heater, no radio. You drove with a field jacket and gloves. The Sarge Edition lets you choose. Roof on, heated seats, CarPlay. Or strip it and get the same when the MB drivers got. We go to the shop. Sarge Edition on a lift next to a 1943 Willys MB owned by the Army Heritage Center. We walk the frames. The MB is C-channel, riveted, 2.5mm steel. The Wrangler is boxed, hydroformed, 3.5mm in places. The MB has leaf springs and no sway bars. The Wrangler has coil springs, a 5-link rear, and a disconnecting front sway bar. We measure articulation. The MB does 12 inches. The Wrangler does 30. We spin the wheels. The MB has 16-inch NDCC tires, skinny, hard. The Sarge has 33-inch KO2S, soft, wide. The spare on both is outside. The MB has a 15-liter fuel can on the side. The Wrangler has an 81-liter tank and a charge port. We talk about field service. The MB's manual was 80 pages. The Wrangler's is 500, but most of it is emissions and infotainment. The axles, the transfer case, the diffs, you can still service those with hand tools. We're at an hour 30. Time for people. A Marine who did 3 tours in Hums drives the Sarge. He says the flat fenders are the same reason they worked on the M151. You can see your corners. A collector who owns a 1942 slat grill and a Sarge Edition points to the brass. He says the new one doesn't mock the old one. It rhymes with it. We roll user footage. A Sarge Edition on the beach at Saunton Sands, UK. Another on the NC 500 in Scotland. Green Lanes in Wales. Morland in Yorkshire. The Willys was global because of war. The Wrangler is global because of choice. Right-hand drive. Diesel in Europe. For XE in California. The idea scales. The last 40 minutes is a real test. Mud in Virginia. Rock in Moab. Snow in Alberta. We're in 4xe electric mode, silent except for the crunch of stone. We lock the front and rear, disconnect the sway bar, and crawl. The camera is low. On the Mayan Gold stitch as the chassis twists. The Drab Green gets muddy and it looks better. We talk payload. The MB was 1,300 pounds. The Wrangler is 1,000. But the Wrangler tows 3,500. Different jobs. We hit water. The MB forded 21 inches with a kit. The Wrangler does 30 stock. The air intake is high. The alternator is up. The connectors are sealed. We stop at a ridge. Doors off. Windshield down. Touchscreen off. The only sound is wind and the tick of cooling metal. This is a moment the Willys drivers had between fights. No radio. No mission. Just a view and a machine that got you there. We drive back as night falls. The headlights pick up their eyes. The cabin is warm. The CarPlay reads a text. We ignore it. We're thinking about 1944 and 2027 and how a shape can carry meaning. The Willys MB was built for a world at war. The Wrangler Sarge Edition is built for a world that still has wild places and for people who want to reach them without asking permission. The tools change. The intent doesn't. We pull into the showroom, shut it down, and the lights go out one by one. The last shot is a 7-slot grill in the dark, lit only by the exit sign. We hold, then fade to black. The only sound is an engine, idling, somewhere far away, waiting.